the drink and the smoke, take away the pain, and you don't remember.
Cozy.
And welcome back to, what do we want to call this segment where it's just me and you, like the monthly series? We need a good name for it. Once a month. We're actually, we haven't missed one yet. We're once a month to start the year. We did one early January. We did one early February. We're doing one early March now. So we haven't missed one. We're actually doing what we said we were going to do. One episode a month. Just me and you.
Well, we're going to have to brainstorm that because I can't think on the spot.
Okay, that's fair.
Do you listen to any podcasts?
Yeah, I actually do. New Heights is like my go-to now.
I like New Heights.
Yeah, really, especially during the football season when they talk about football. I actually genuinely
Well, because I
love
like
it.
the way they split up the podcast.
Well, I like how
between football at the beginning and then they kind of transition from there into different things that are happening.
they talk pop culture, right?
Yeah.
It's like a good, and when they talk about football, they actually like talk about football. It's
Yeah.
not like surface level. It's like two guys that are top of their game.
because they're inside.
Yeah.
What did you think about
His
Jason
retirement?
Yeah.
Loved it.
It was
Did you watch the whole
so
speech?
sad.
I thought it was amazing. I was like, that's
Did you hear what happened? His trainer. So his trainer got
chemo. He had cancer.
He had
Had
cancer,
chemo.
and he was going through chemo. So he taped him up for the press conference because it was like his last time to be the last person to tape him up.
Yeah, no, I.
Oh my god!
I have a newfound
my
respect for,
heart.
like, I always liked Travis just because Travis is like an absolute like.
See, I've always loved Jason more than Travis.
But when did you start liking Jason?
In the past like couple of years,
For the past literally year and a half.
I'd say
Since he made the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
okay, maybe yeah.
Because nobody outside of football players really knew who he was. And since he's a center, it's a position that gets like no love outside of like
Yeah.
Philly. And if you watch football, you know he's like like an amazing center, but
Yeah.
centers get no love. So like I knew they were brothers. I knew who they were. I've always loved Travis. My respect for Jason is like skyrocketed.
Oh, and
He's just like, he's got that like older brother, like he's just, yeah.
You can tell Travis looks up to him though in a lot of ways.
You
and
see
even
he was
just,
crying
like,
too at the
yeah.
press conference. Yeah,
Well,
just
even like obviously this is off. But, like so many people were commenting on like TikTok and Instagram about how he missed Taylor's show in Singapore to be there for his brother.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Shocked you didn't see that, Mr. Taylor Swift.
Do you know what? Not being on Instagram, I miss a lot.
I just think I see it more on TikTok, to be honest.
See, my algorithm doesn't give me that.
Anything Kelsey Brothers related, my algorithm
Yeah,
has,
okay.
but it gives me times. Do you ever notice your algorithm changing throughout the day?
No.
If I wake up in the morning and I check TikTok, my algorithm's one thing. I'll get certain kind of videos. If I open it midday at work, I get another type of videos.
Give me examples.
Okay, so like I'd say like midday at work, I'm getting like pop culture updates, things like that. Podcast clips,
Okay.
videos, updates on like reality shows that happened the night before.
Okay.
At night, it switches, and I can't even pinpoint it right now. I don't know why. I noticed this the other day, and I was just like, huh? Like, I don't want this. I want my updates again.
Yeah, but then just press the not interested button.
Yeah, but it's like I'll be interested at one point. Like, I don't care at like 11 p.m. to see like the coolest restaurant in New York.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never noticed that. Maybe.
And then like I don't know why. I just feel like my algorithm changes per times in the day. It's always things I'm interested in general.
I've never seen that.
Have you seen that person on TikTok? This is actually like the most fucked, like weird thing. But it's because I want to get like a scalp massage. That like they just like feel the scalp with different like proking like. But I don't like ASMR.
My TikTok doesn't give me that.
Yeah, but it's just I think because I've been talking about getting.
Also,
a
I
scalp
see
massage.
zero ASMR on my TikTok.
I hate ASMR. I always click not interested. I don't care about someone cracking down on like that. No, not for me. Doesn't calm me down. Doesn't do anything.
Not for me. Yeah, don't get it.
It also just makes me uncomfortable because some people make it like sultry and it's like it's your mouth. It's noises. I hate.
Well, some people do it with their nails.
I
and
have
stuff,
noticed
like, they're like-
recently. No, I've noticed recently that one of my friends, I can't eat around that person, and it drives me up the fucking wall.
Is it me?
No.
Oh.
Well, I tell you when you're annoying.
Yeah.
Because you eat like a monster. Like I'll sit there and eat with you, and you're done your food, and like I'm like, you're like, oh, you're like, are you done? Can I have some?
Well, no, it's because I can't. I don't breathe through my nose when I eat.
It's and you also like scoop your food up. But no, one of my friends makes noises like, and I was like on my computer and I was like doing something or maybe on my phone, and the person was sitting next to me and like, And like I've realized that like noises like that really irritate me when I'm noticing sounds when people eat now, and it drives me up the wall. So if I ever make a weird sound or do something weird when I'm eating, let me know, because that is one of my biggest pet peeves.
Noted.
Oh my God, sorry to get that off my chest.
You good?
Yeah.
What podcast do you listen to outside of New Heights?
I listen to Giggly Squad.
What's that?
It's with Hannah Berner and Paige DeSorbo.
Who are they?
They were both on Summer House.
I was actually gonna guess they're reality stars.
Yeah. Well, Hannah's off the show now. Paige is still on. Hannah's a comedian, and like I could not stand Hannah on the show. I hated her, but I loved Paige.
Okay.
And I'm like, if they're friends, and they're completely opposite. Like Hannah's very like tomboy-esque and like a comedian, and Paige is like a fashion girly to a T. But both like living in New York, so typical like that. But I actually sit there and laugh, and they like listen to like they like say stupid things that it's me. Like you would listen to an episode and you'd be like, holy fuck, this is literally, I understand why Daniela is the way she is.
Okay, that's fair.
That I listen to consistently. And then it just depends.
I'm
Depends
a
what's going
sucker.
on in like seasons.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for good clips. Like if I see a good clip online that I really like resonated with, or I thought it was funny or something, I'll go listen to the podcast.
I see. I feel like that doesn't pull me right now. I think it's like if I hear, like I'll listen to like Call Her Daddy sometimes too, but just because of some of the guests she's had on.
So you have your Giggly Squad.
Giggly Squad's no matter what every week.
Then you're based on guests.
Because it used to be I used to listen to Caitlin Bristow every week. Then she kind of started annoying me, so I stopped listening to her. So now it's just like whatever.
Didn't we have Caitlin Bristow's like business associate on the podcast once?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
What
was her name? Cleo.
We used to listen to her consistently, and she was like Tuesdays, Thursdays, and sometimes Fridays. Then she like brought it down to 2 days and like whatever. But again, then she kind of just started getting like just a bit too much for me. And then I used to listen to her boyfriend for a bit, but then I couldn't really get into it fully, not like on a weekly basis. And then I lost my train of thought.
There's just podcasts you were listening to. Like for me, my thing is outside of New Heights, I listen to.
New Heights I started listening to.
Yeah,
because of clips,
I don't
though.
listen every week, but I'm probably like it's podcast I listen to the most. And aside from that, I'm very clip oriented. If I get a clip that I like, even if it's an old clip, I'll find the episode. I'll go listen to it. Like I saw a clip from like Pillow Talk, like Ryan Powell's podcast, where he had I don't remember the porn star or the OnlyFans girl, really like a hot girl, and she was telling a story how she got like basically gangbanged her first night in LA. And I'm like, that's what? And I went to go find the episode because I wanted to hear that full story.
See, I just find it's like certain people who like interview well. Like I think that like Alex Cooper has been driving me nuts. Do I like it better now, her personality now and the way she's doing them versus when she was doing it the other way, like talking about like all she was talking about before was sex, drugs, and like partying, which like some of the episodes were fun, but it got like repetitive. But I find she's such a good interviewer for certain people. So like Zane was on the podcast last summer, listened to it on the ride up to the cottage with my cousin, and like I was like, holy shit, I never liked him, and like I absolutely love him now because like you're getting a new perspective of someone.
She had a huge rebrand, right?
Like, yeah, completely.
And like good for her, right? She built this massive platform. Her and Sophia, like it sucks for Sophia that she kind of got like the short end of the stick.
Well, no, that was her choice.
Yes and no, right?
I'm Team Alex on the fight.
Yeah, of course you are. But again, there's two sides to every story, and then there's just like
either way, yeah, she's back out, but like she's made this for herself now, and
yeah, and she's ran with
her.
it. Yeah, so yeah, obviously like she's fucking killing it. Who else is doing a tour right now? Oh man, another blonde podcaster. She's she's a social media girl, and she has a co-host.
I do love UK podcasters.
No, wait. But on this, there's this blonde girl from the States, and she got a brunette co-host, and they just toured. It's called the Canceled Tour. Anyways, never mind that. So that's like we're basically doing what Alex Cooper was doing with Call Her Daddy, like touring and doing like live shows.
A lot of people do that.
Really? I don't know many that do.
Almost every single podcaster that like I've listened to.
Oh, really? I know
Giggly Squad does it.
Oh, do they?
They just haven't come to like. Well, actually, they came to Toronto. I just missed it. Giggly Squad does it. Caitlin Bristow's done it. I've been.
Oh.
Pillow Talk. Not Pillow Talk. Pillows and Beer. That's two guys from Southern Charm. They do it. Call Her Daddy was actually late in the game for the podcast.
I had no idea.
I went to one like a couple of years ago. Girls Gotta Eat's been doing it for years.
Is that the one I was on? Girls Gotta Eat?
No, maybe
What was the one
the
that-
clip.
Yeah, the clip
Yeah,
where
yeah,
they
maybe it was
roasted
Girls Gotta Eat. That's a pretty big one.
That was funny.
They don't their podcast isn't bad, not for me. One of the girls drives me nuts.
I should
And it's little
message them,
things like
I'm in
the girl
know.
has a lisp and it drives me nuts. But my friend doesn't hear it, but I hear it. So it's like a little thing like that.
That's fair.
But again, it's to each your own. Like you're listening to
100%.
something.
See, do you know what? I can't listen to podcasts in the morning because I actually like listening. And in the morning, my brain is not really functioning. So on my drive to work every morning, I listen to radio talk shows because I like 95% I don't care what they say. And it reminds me, radio talk shows in the morning is basically elevator music to me. You know, it's like it's nothingness music. That's what I like.
See, I find like some podcasts are like elevator music to me.
No, like when I like New Heights, I don't want to listen to it in the morning because I actually want to listen to it. I want to know what they're saying. So I listen after work on the way downtown.
So this is different. This is also comes hand in hand with like my like why I watch reality TV. It's because I can't just sit and watch it. Like I have to be doing something. Like my mom's the same way. Like I'll pull my phone out and do something.
See, George is like
I'll
that
do
too.
Sudoku
Yeah.
on my phone. Like
If I watch something, I want to actually watch it.
yeah, no. Like I need like background. Like if I'm doing work, like it can be background noise to me now because like.
Why don't you play like music or something?
Sometimes that annoys me, and then like I get
fair.
like it has to be certain kind of like I have to be in a certain mood. So like that's why I'll flip. Like I can work with a podcast on because it can be background noise. Only certain people, certain podcasts.
That's fair.
Where it's like it's in the back, but I'm still focusing.
That's fair.
Whereas like sometimes music like distracts me more.
Yeah, I disagree, but I get what you're saying. Like I
Yeah.
completely understand. Like I know a lot of people that do exactly what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like they're not multitasking, but you're focusing on one thing. You just have something else going on in the background, so it's not silent.
Yeah, or it's even like when I lived at my condo alone. Unless I was like I would have the TV on probably 24/7, just on a random show, and it'd be playing in the background. I could be doing anything. I didn't have to be sitting there watching that show. Versus like having like I know when you go to yours, like you always have music on when you're like at home alone. For me, music was going on if I was like getting ready to go out or do something or I don't know.
That's fair.
Like I wasn't just sitting in my house cooking, listening to music. Like there'd just be like a random show in the background.
That's fair. Well, speaking about doing things, one of the things that was on my list was spring activities in Toronto.
Okay.
What are some of your favorite spring activities in the summer?
When does spring
Sorry,
start?
not in the summer. What are some of your favorite spring activities in Toronto?
When does spring start? Like now?
Any minute now. It's like literally any day spring starts. Well, daylight savings is Sunday, March 9th or whatever.
This weekend.
Yeah.
I
I didn't say this weekend because I
Spring
don't know when we're
forward.
releasing this. Are we releasing this tomorrow?
don't know.
I think
It's
so.
spring forward. So that means do we lose?
We gain an hour of sun, we lose an hour of time.
I'm saying do we lose sleep or gain sleep?
We lose sleep, gain sun.
Oh, I can't afford to lose sleep right
No,
now.
we gain sun.
I know. I'm excited about
This
that.
one's always the best.
Yeah. But I'm just like I hate losing sleep.
No, to me gaining an hour of sun is life changing right now.
Well, currently my life is different in the spring. My spring kind of starts in May,
Yeah, that sucks. You lose that month and a half.
which I'm fine with though. Like I've come like to terms with it. Right
The
now
rest
it's
of your life, you're okay losing that month and a half of your life every year for the rest of your life.
well, it's not going to be the rest of my life. Like there's going to come a point where like it changes for me.
Does it? I feel like every accountant is always screwed.
Yeah, but I'm
Second
not
half
going
of
to like
April, May.
I'm not sitting here for the rest of my life doing this. Like I would hope to be in a different position in the next 15 years where I'm not doing that.
So what about Fab? Is Fab like super busy in April and May?
Yeah, but like we also work like at a small firm.
Oh. So what's your end goal then where you won't have to like be really busy in May? Like you'll be busy but not like pulling your hair out?
But again, it's just April.
Oh, sorry,
and, like,
April.
we're
Sorry,
not
March,
even that
April.
bad. Like I think March for us is almost worse.
Sorry,
we
what?
have March is worse.
Why?
Yes, we're because December year ends.
Oh, okay.
So like HSTs are due, and when you have HSTs due, you basically sometimes have to complete the year end to like file. You need the information anyways. So I find like March is really busy, and then April it's like you're gonna be busy, so you kind of set
You're
yourself.
mentally
You're
prepped,
mentally
yeah.
prepped for it because
That's
we were
fair.
talking about that the other day. Like I'm almost more nervous like for this month, and like March last year I thought it was like gonna, but right now
You also have
too,
school too, right?
I'm
Which
doing
kinda
school
sucks,
right now,
yeah.
which is like the two hardest
And the
classes.
podcast.
And I'm trying to have a social life. But like after this weekend, I like am not seeing anyone. And I also don't make plans in April.
What about me?
unless it's like necessary for the podcast, like I am not making social plans. I haven't seen friends since 2023. Some of my friends, and they're like, when it,
it's so tough.
and it's like I can't, like, we're going to TFC on the weekend. You asked me to go here 2 weeks ago, I think. So that was in my schedule that March 9th, I'm going to TFC. Last week I went to the spa with Becca during the day. In my schedule.
Sorry, do you not have a personal email?
Yeah, but like,
Then why do you always use the
Gmail.
pals email? You don't have a personal Gmail?
No.
So that's why I use the pals email for a lot of things.
But like I have my work one, it's just Gmail, which I told her to start using that. But anyways, I have been very like restricting myself because like it's so busy with the podcast, it's so busy with school. Like I go to work, come home, do school, and like I'm exhausted and I'm not retaining anything. And I'm someone who needs sleep, like you know that. So having like, and then I feel guilty in my head, like I can't see a friend. So like I have friends texting me saying, oh, like I haven't seen you, let me know when you're free. And I'm like, okay, but you just have to tell me like, hey, are you good this day? And then I'll say yes. If someone else is going to tell me, like you said, hey, you want to go to TFC on Saturday? I said, Kate, nothing that weekend. Sure, that's my day. I'm blocking it off. They're like, oh, what are you doing Friday, Sunday? Nope, sorry, can't, school. And it's not even like, could I go for an hour and see someone? Yes. But it's always more than an hour between like driving, this and that. And it's also just like being able to wind down after and like go to bed and not be tired to be able to actually retain the information. So that's why sometimes doing the podcast late, it's not that like it's actually goes late. It's that by the time I get home and actually get myself to bed, like I don't just fall asleep immediately.
Yeah.
Like I need my brain to turn off. And then I also just haven't been sleeping well.
That's fair. For me, I love like when you kill two birds, one stone. So the other day I did a workout class with a friend.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like two birds, one stone. I got to see my friend and I crushed that workout.
Yeah.
So, you know,
I just think right now, like, too, me not living in the city with some of my friends living in the city, that's becoming a bit harder. Because it's like, well, I'm not driving downtown for an hour for a workout class just to go back home.
No.
Like, that's not worth my time. I drive enough to Oakville, Toronto, to Richmond Hill.
Well, what's your plan? Are you going to eventually buy a home? Buy
Yes.
a condo? Mimico still? You still thinking Mimico?
You know what? I saw somewhere, it just came up for sale the other day on Stewart Street. But I'm obsessed with it.
Stewart's great.
So like, and it's not far from the highway. So I'm open to
Stewart's great.
I either want Mimico.
So Stewart's nice because in the morning you make the right hand turn onto Spadina.
Yeah.
The only problem is now the traffic's bad because of the well.
So like my thing is like anything close to the highway I'm okay with. I just like, as much as I loved Yorkville, I can't do that anymore.
No, it adds an extra 15 to 20 minutes to your drive every day.
Obviously Mimico would be great just given the fact that it's still close to the city and close to Oakville. Like I would just save so much time. But I just haven't put the effort in.
Again, you're busy though. Like it's tough when you're busy to want to get excited.
Yeah, like if it wasn't for this school, like because I wasn't supposed to do these classes again. If it wasn't for this, I would have been like looking every week.
Yeah. We also joked around, me and Devin. Technically, the studio could sleep two people. Like you're technically not allowed to sleep here, but this couch can easily sleep one person. That couch can easily sleep another person.
Yeah, but I'm not living here.
No, but like some days where it's like you're really tired and like you're gonna work from here, you can just crash here, like shower at mine or something, or you can even crash.
Well,
at
I'd
mine.
rather just crash at yours or crash at Vicky's or crash at
Yeah,
any of my other friends in the city where there's like a shower and a bed.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know.
Okay,
But I get
gotcha.
that. I get that. Thanks for thinking of me.
I did. I even told Devin the other day because Devin's moving out of his
Yeah.
place. I was like, Dev, worst case, you sleep at mine or you sleep at the studio. Like,
Yeah.
Like a day where I'm not out. Okay, don't sleep at mine the night I'm not out, but sleep at the studio if you really need it. In the morning, drive wherever you got to go. Or then go to mine, shower, change. Like,
Well, I think a big thing that you've made a point of this year is you don't want to waste time. And like you're avoiding traffic. We've talked about on the podcast.
and so far I've been pretty successful at it.
Yeah, and it's like there's some days where it's like you can avoid it, other days you can't, but it's really like just really being able to appreciate the time in your day.
Oh yeah.
And like make the best use out of it because there's not that many hours of like working hours.
I've become really good at maximizing my hours in a day. Like between everything I do and kind of like just utilizing everything. Okay, I have a gym membership right beside my office. So some days I go to the gym right after work. I go right back to the office, which is actually, it's like, I think it's a 90-second drive. I don't even think it's 2 minutes. It's one set of lights and then like 2 right turns. So I'll go back to the office, have dinner. So I could be done dinner and done the gym by 7 o'clock. And then I get no traffic on the way downtown. So it's a 40-minute drive instead of driving downtown at 5 where it's an hour drive, park my car, go upstairs, change upstairs, go back to the main floor, walk to Barry's or whatever, right? Or the days where I go to Barry's or I do a class, I'll leave a little bit earlier and, just avoid the traffic because it's just a nightmare.
Yeah, no, it's brutal. I think it also just depends. Like, we both don't live in the city and work in the city.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, when I worked in the city, me and my cousin would go 6:30. Go to a class, come home, shower, go.
When you work in the city and you live in the city, it's so like when I used to work in the city and live in the
That's
city
so many hours.
and work out in the city, everything's just so easy and
Yeah.
convenient. Yeah.
Yeah, I think my biggest thing right now too is just like I'm mentally like absolutely drained, and then it makes me make stupid mistakes. And I think you're like, oh, what did you do tonight? It's like, yeah, okay, I sat at my desk again, and I'm at my desk for probably 18 hours a day right now. But I don't really have it like.
You're not at your desk for 18 hours a day, Danny.
Okay, 16.
That's a lot. 18.
Fine. 15 to 16 hours a day.
See, that's shitty, yeah.
I'm at my
Yeah,
desk.
but it's between like work and school.
No,
right?
so I'm saying
Like,
work and
just,
school.
Yeah, you're basically
like
just
I'm not like but like my brain doesn't work. So things that could take me quicker, or I'm also rushing through things so that I can give myself that an hour of just downtime
Yeah.
to turn my brain off.
I get it. It makes sense.
It's been like, and I did this before, and I know that there's an end date. I'm just more annoyed now because of the situation and how it happened, and Ryerson fucking me over.
Yeah, but it's okay because at the end of the day, we're going to go to England in May and life will be good again.
Yeah, it will be. I'm really excited.
I know, so am I.
I think it was like, I was really stressed booking the flights.
Really?
Well, because I was booking that flight and then the other Europe flights all at once. Also, I didn't Air Canada pissed again. Like, fucking hate this airline. Sorry
Why?
for
What
swearing.
happened?
There's like all this thing, Europe sale, blah, blah, blah. Book by this date. If you book this kind of flight, you get 8,000 points. If you get booked this flight, you get 4,000 points back. Where are my fucking 4,000 points?
I didn't see anything, but I got like a $40 credit when I booked the flight. I was like, yo, discount here. Click it. $20 each round trip.
Huh?
Yeah.
I literally emailed customer service being like, can someone explain to me? Like, I would have waited a day. Well, I was just annoyed. People complain, and that's how you get, like, stuff done. If I don't say anything, I've realized I'm someone who can get walked over so easily. Oh, I didn't get it. Oh, I didn't get it.
That's fair.
Like, oh, go to a hotel that you stay at a 5-star hotel. You're supposed to get a butler. I didn't use it. Oh, I didn't ask. Okay? So I'm trying to step up for myself and ask.
Fucking right, Danny.
So they said I was going to get 4,000 points. I booked 4 flights.
That's 16,000 points.
No, I think it's only 4. I was reading the terms and conditions. But still, it's still 8,000 points.
Still 8,000 points?
8,000 points can get me to New York.
My flight to New York was 10,000 points and 150
Yes. But it's still
So, yeah.
it's still something.
100%.
If you say you're going to give it, you give it.
Fucking right, Danny.
And I was pissed. And they sent me a generic email back saying, if you're asking about misallocated points, fill out this form. I went to fill out the form. It wouldn't let me fill it out. If you're looking for changes on your flight. No, I'm not looking for changes on my flight. I'm looking for where these bonus reward points are. Because I don't know the system. I want to get better. And I want to know, why did I book this flight during this time frame if you're not going to give me the points?
Fucking right, Danny. You fucking tell him.
Anyways, I still don't have them, so I think I need John's help.
Call John. John's actually helping me book my flight from Mykonos to Calgary, which is going to be hell.
Are you going to Athens first?
No, I think I'm going to go Mykonos to London or Paris and then Calgary direct from there. I'm going to try to.
So I found out
Or I might
today
have 2 stops from Mykonos.
that if all goes well and I get to start my CPA process in July, my 2 workshops are August 31st and September 1st.
Brutal. So
But
you're in the same boat as I am.
But it's okay. They're online. And like I have a wedding in Italy after. So I was going to try to go directly from Mykonos to Catania. But now I might just go to Athens.
Spend
get
2
an
days chill,
Airbnb,
yeah.
Like just sit there 2 days. The timing's going to be different because of the time difference. So like it'll be fine. And they're like 6 hours a day for 2 days.
Brutal.
So I'm just gonna have to do it. Thank God it's then, because if there was another course, it was gonna be on Becca and George's wedding. So not only would I have had to delay my CPA, but I would have had to fail this class.
Oh,
Anyways,
man.
it all worked out.
It works out.
It's the right after Mykonos, right before the wedding. So it's just 2 days
You're good.
in Europe that I'm gonna have to work, and it's fine.
You're still good, Danny.
I'm still going for over 3 weeks, so it's okay.
We love that for you.
Yeah, thanks. It's all right. I feel like I've just been talking a lot. How are you?
Danny, we want that for you.
How are you?
I talk
Ricky?
majority of the podcast. You see, like most of the clips we grab, I'm end up either asking the question or it's the answer. It's like, we need more Danny clips.
I don't want clips today because I look like a potato.
Okay. Should we talk about the pocket pussy?
Yeah, I'm kind of scared.
Okay.
I didn't see these stories. I knew you got something, but I didn't know detail.
I'll give a background of it because, to be honest, I've never had a promo item get so much engagement on my story. So that's just a towel. Yeah, that's nothingness.
Individual?
It's just one towel. You
No,
soak
it
it in.
isn't.
Yeah, it is.
It's 1, 2,
No, it's
3,
not.
4.
It's one
No,
towel.
it's compressed towels. It's individual towels, Ricky. They
Oh, is it?
légette, yes.
They're basically cum towels.
Add water to expand, then cleanse as needed. Hand wash in warm water or using mild soap. Hand use to dry. Compost or discard once finished.
Okay, so I guess it's a bunch. It's a company called Mod. I think it's called
Do you mind
Mod.
if I open this?
I guess so, yeah. Well, you want to do this first? We'll do the towels first then. Well, I'm eventually might use these things, so we'll see.
I'm not gonna ruin it.
So this company called Mod, they sent me like
They're individual.
they sent me like a vibrator and like lube and a massage candle a couple weeks ago. And then they just sent me another package, be like, hey, we've got this new item, like we're gonna send it to you. I was like, cool, sick, like thanks. I don't, without getting into too much detail on sex, I don't really use toys and gadgets and whatnot, right? But you know, I'm always out to try new things. So I posted about the vibrator on my stories, like whatever. You get a couple of comments like, "Oh, can we use this together?" Blah blah blah. Like the other inbox. You know the other inbox. So you get the other inbox and you get random comments. This, and I'll let Danny open it up because I've already opened it.
Okay, I'm gonna read the packaging for a second. Dome is a discreet and easy to use double-sided sleeve with a multi-textured interior made of platinum grade soft touch silicone. Dome, I don't know how to say that word. Latex free, waterproof, and comes with a canvas travel pouch for storage.
Yeah. So this thing arrived. I posted on my story, and I got at least 150 to 200 DMs.
I kind of feel you haven't used it.
No.
Having...
Imagine I use it and bringing it to you after I fuck this thing.
Oh, so it's for men.
Yeah, it's for men. Yeah, yeah. So the vibrator was like for partners.
God!
And mind you, we're not paid for this. I brought this in because I was like, this is a fun, like, good conversation starter at the studio. And I was like, you know,
Textured.
I
Different
know-
textures throughout.
I knew we were going to be talking, me and Danny were going to do an episode. And I was like, hey, worst case scenario, we can talk about this. And then Virgie even mentioned that we should talk about this today. So I was like, cool, let's do it. Put your finger in there. It's actually cool. It's like ribbed on the inside.
No, there's 2 different textures. One of them's bumpy and then one of them's like ribbed.
It's crazy, eh? The only thing I don't know is like, it's. Are you just talking about sex make you uncomfortable, Danny?
No, the thought about that's like.
But the only thing, like the hole's kind of small. Do you lube it up and then fuck it? Like,
oh my
how
God,
does
I
it
don't wanna
work?
know.
And like that end's really small, but I think like it does stretch. Like,
Oh my God! Don't even test it. I thought you were fucking.
you can put your fingers in it. Like 2 fingers, you can get 3. You could. It's a little tight, but wild.
My finger needs to be like. Ew, that's.
It's actually crazy. So Danny, that's what a fleshlight looks like, or in other words, a pocket pussy.
The dome.
It's actually literally, Danny. This is the product I've got the most amount of DMs from in my entire life.
Why? Okay.
So
I
did the
Can I
unboxing.
ask you a question? For all these women DMing you, this is not gonna give her any fucking pleasure. This is for you and you only. This is to pleasure yourself.
But the DMs are all funny because it's just like let's see a product review.
Okay, product review, whatever. But let's use this together.
No, nobody said that.
You said that before.
No, that was on the other one. That was on the vibrator.
I didn't know. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so they gave me like it was basically a beauty blender. It looked like that, but it was a vibrator.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, so the
I
people
thought
are
you
like,
meant
let's use
this. Like
that
girls
to-
were messaging you saying like,
This, a lot of people were just like, no way, you just got a pocket pussy. Ha ha ha. let's see you use it. Shit like that.
Ew.
That's what my DMs look like. Yeah, really funny. Really, really funny. But yeah, so that's it. Surprise. We can put that back in. Yeah. Danny, I've already used it.
My fingers went inside.
Okay, what else is on our to talk list? You only wrote down 2 things. Oh, okay. Dating red flags and dating green flags. Now that we've got the pocket pussy put away. Are you really going to put it away like that? No, take off that thing, Danny. Come on. Okay. Danny, let's go 1 for 1 here.
Okay, you start.
No, I asked you. What's okay? You can either go dating red flag or dating green flag. You got to say one of each, and then I'll go say one of each.
Not picking the right location for the type of date is a red flag.
Okay, so give me an example.
Like going for drinks and then going to like a nicer restaurant.
I don't know. Going to a nicer restaurant for drinks seems fine to me.
And then only having one drink.
Yeah, but that's on you too.
No. Sorry.
Okay. Well, that's fair. That's yours. I don't know if I agree with that.
I
But mind
feel
you, that's your red
getting,
flag,
like the
Dama.
right scenario.
So setting the right vibe.
Yeah. For the date.
Okay, so let's go the flip side. So you set the red flag. What would be a green flag version of that? So what's a good example of a place to take you for a first date?
This is actually a good conversation because me and you see very differently eye to eye.
Oh,
and I know
me and you're completely different.
a lot of girls and a lot of my friends think similarly to me. I'd rather go for drinks with someone on a first date than go for a full-fledged dinner. You have told me, no, go take him out to, like, make him take you out to dinner, blah, 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 blah.
I'm an experience. I'm like a 6-hour date kind of guy.
Okay, but I love experiences too. But if it's a first date where you barely know the person, you want an escape.
Okay, continue.
But also, maybe I haven't been on a first date that's been great where you've been able to take me out for 6 hours and it be that enjoyable. Because my favorite dates in general are going to sports games where like you can do something before, during, and after. Going to like an activity, anything like that. Those have been my favorite dates that I've been on, but they were never a first date. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'd rather go for drinks than dinner on a first date. Just those two comparable.
Okay, so would you
Because I can leave.
rather have a 2-hour drink date from 9 to 11, or would you rather have dinner, Leaf game, drinks, and karaoke 8-hour date from 5 till midnight?
5 to midnight. Of all
Okay,
the
so you want a
activities.
longer first date too?
Only if it's good though. Like I need a way out. And
There's no way out. No.
I
So
have
let
a
me
hard
ask you
time.
this.
I went on a date last year
Let me ask you
and I
this.
didn't know how to leave.
Easy. Hey, I gotta go. Something came up.
But like, how do you say that?
Easy. Hey, I got a call from my mom. Something came up. Do you mind? I gotta go. I'm so
I'm
sorry.
not a good liar.
It's not a lie. Hey, that's what you text your friends. Hey, call, if I'm out having fun, I'll text you and then, hey, Ricky. Mind you, do you not screen people before you go on dates with them?
I could try, but like, how do you really know? Like, I'm not texting them every day.
I've never had a date I want to get out of ASAP. I've had dates where I've got catfish and I still had a really fun time.
I thought it was going to be different.
Okay, but did you fully give it a chance?
Mm-hmm. I gave it a chance.
Well, how'd you give it a chance if you set a 2-hour limit on it or
I
something?
didn't.
Oh, you didn't? Well, okay, give me the example.
Literally a year ago, we went out.
What'd you do? What was the plan?
Drinks.
Just drinks.
Just drinks.
Okay, so you had a limit on it.
Well, that was the thing. Hey, let's go for drinks.
Okay, but
I
why-
didn't limit that. He asked.
Like, hey, you know what? I'm not really much of just a drinks girl. Like, why don't you plan something nice for me?
I'm not going to say that to someone.
If a girl said that to me, I'd be like, fuck yeah, that's so sexy. Okay, I'm pulling out the stops.
Okay, whatever. I
Okay,
didn't
continue.
say that.
So you did drinks, and then after a couple drinks, you wanted to leave.
After one drink. And then I was just like
One
having...
drink, that's on you too, right? You could have drank more if you wanted to.
Okay, then I was just like not feeling... Like, whatever. I had to carry the conversation the whole time.
Okay, and then you left.
And then the restaurant came and brought the bill. And he's like, oh, I didn't ask for this. And I'm looking around. Like, literally, there's one other table. And obviously, we had one drink within the 3 hours we've been here. Obviously, they want us to go. and they're closing the restaurant. So that was my way of saying, oh, I think it's time. Like, we should leave. Like, they're wrapping up.
Okay, that's just a bad date, though.
Yeah.
Whether it was a 6-hour date or a 2-hour date, it would have been shit either way.
Agreed. But I like experiences.
Yeah, like, so this is where we differ.
If you're
For me,
comfortable with someone,
even if you're not, for me, if I'm going on a first date with somebody, I want it to be the best date of their life.
yeah, it's a good thing. But you're like, not all guys are like that.
Maybe. I see, the way I look at it is that, Danny, let's say I take you on a date and we go on a date. Let's say it doesn't work. Let's say we're not each other's type. We had a fun night, but there's too many non-negotiables, right? I want you to have such an amazing time that you go to your friends and be like, wow, I had so much fun with Ricky. It didn't work out, but he's a really nice guy. I had so much fun with him. He was just a lot of fun. Just, he wants 5 kids. I only want 2. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I agree. So maybe I take that. Like, my comparable was, because we had this discussion. You're like, make him take me out for dinner. No, I'd rather just go for a drink so I know that there's like an easy out.
See,
But if he was doing an experience, if someone was like, oh, let's go do this. Yeah, 100%. I remember I went on a first date with a guy once. Actually, I did. We went bowling. I had a blast.
See, but when you went on that, were you thinking, oh, okay, I have an escape? I feel like it's the mindset that you go in with.
I kind of knew him.
So maybe that's what you do before
It wasn't
you go
a
on dates with
blind,
someone.
like
You
it
gotta
wasn't like a
screen them
blind.
more.
It was like, I think I screened him more.
Yeah,
Versus like this, like, 'cause it was just more of like a blind, like it was blind date.
See, I love like me. I don't really screen. I just want to kind of go in there blind. Like, yo, what's your vibe?
Yeah.
We vibe. I think we vibe. Let's go find out.
Yeah, but you're the guy. Like, what was I gonna be like? Okay, let's go do something. I didn't even know what to do. I didn't care to like want to go do something with him.
That's fair.
Like, I had friends out and about in a city, and like I could have been like, oh, let's go see my friends. Like, I went on a date once that we were with, like, I was with this guy, and I'm like,
Dan,
oh,
you went on 4 different dates here now. Whoa.
yeah, but.
I'm teasing.
And then I had friends, and I was like, oh, why don't we go meet my friends? Like, you know what?
Those
I
are the
didn't
best.
care. I said, I was having a good time. Wasn't ready for the night to be over. We went to go meet my friends. Had a great time. Didn't work out, but still. I was willing to extend the date because of that.
Everybody thinks that the date needs to work out for it to be a good date. That is so wrong.
Okay, well, I've also been on dates that are just like, I've been on one date that just like was not good.
Is that the one we're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, that's fair. For me, if the date doesn't need to be good for it to work out, and it doesn't need to be bad for it to be a bad.
Yes, I agree.
I've gone on dates. I've been on some amazing dates where it didn't work out with the person. And like after the night, we knew it wasn't going to work out based off like, conversations and differences and just the vibe. But they were really fun dates.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is going to be completely off topic because I actually had a friend who went on a date and this was a big negotiable for him.
So it's not off topic if we're talking about dating still.
Yes, but like off topic from like right now. But she went on a date with a guy and he was very adamant in the conversation that would she still have her guy friends?
Oh, great topic. We did talk about this too.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I think you know who I'm talking about. Could you be friends with guy friends? And it was one specifically guy that she had dated in the past that they are now just best friends. And they've been best friends before. And he had gone through a situation where he's just like, no, I will not allow my like future next girlfriend to have male friends.
Really close male friends.
Really close male friends. And like to me, that's like, I've always had really close male friends. But again, that is me as a person. Yep. I've never dated my really close male friends. So like, again, like I think that's also where things can be a bit different.
So,
but I also think it's to each their own. If someone doesn't want that, that's like a dating person. Like you don't, that's fine for you.
Yeah. You said it perfectly. Like, look, do I agree with that? Absolutely not. I agree. I think that's so stupid. Like, but am I happy that person communicated their wants and their needs
on their first date too?
Yeah,
like,
again,
100%.
communicate. Like I've had conversations where I've always said I want a parent in my family. I want one of the parents to be a stay-at-home, or to be working a job where it's not a full-time job, or it's a remote job, or it's a job where they have flexibility. I've always said I want one of the parents to be like that. And I remember telling this to a woman on a date, and she goes, "Oh, so you want me to stay home?" I said, "No. If you make more money than me, I'll stay home." Mm-hmm. She's like, well, you're obviously going to make more than me. You're a man. I'm like, oh, well, that's not obvious. And no. So she's like, yeah, but in today's time, I was like, okay, fair enough. And like, again, I'm probably going to make more than her. So that, yeah, I want her to stay home. I think the person who makes more should go to work. The other person should take care of the family and take care of the home. I believe that taking care of a family and taking care of a home is a full-time job. I strongly believe that. So I told her this, and she goes, oh, that's extremely sexist. Like, no, sexist is you're the woman, you have to stay home. That's sexist. And I was like, look, if that doesn't align for you, there's no big deal. She's like, but I care about my career. Great. I care about my career too. I would put my career aside to take care of a family. Like, you can being a stay-at-home dad would be like my fucking dream job. I'd be the best stay-at-home dad in the world. But I communicated my wants and my needs. She didn't agree with it, which is completely fine. And we carried on. Like, we had the best night ever. Not the best night ever. We had a really fun night.
And then
we had a really fun
on.
night, and we realized it's not for us. And
Yeah,
there's
but
nothing wrong with that.
It was good because I even said this to my friend. I was like, it's good that you were both able to communicate what you would do in the situation, because
Your wants and your
why
needs.
would you go then? Let's say it was getting more serious and every other aspect was okay. Then it got to the point where you're actually together. If his opinion's not going to change and your opinion's not going, you're not going to drop your friend. It's never going to work out.
What's the point?
You're going to secretly see these people.
Well, it's like having kids. I believe if you don't want kids, you should say that you don't want kids within the first 5 dates.
Well, so I knew someone too. She went 12 years with the guy in a relationship, and they're in their 30s now. And he's like, I don't want kids anymore.
Or if you don't want kids, or if you don't believe in marriage.
But again,
like,
after 12 years, she instantly broke it off, changed her whole life. Now she's older. Like, I don't know what her plan is, if she even still wants kids. But she's married, so happy, and found the guy that like she was meant to be with. But like, she went 12, 15 years
shitty.
with this guy who like just
it's
completely
so
switched
shitty.
his mind.
Communicate your wants and your needs, like on any date, and don't be, oh, I can't say that because he's gonna think I'm crazy, or she's gonna think I'm a loser.
But if you don't say it,
and then you end up fucking, like, I forget the saying, but it's like, don't introduce someone to a version of you that you can't maintain or that you are not.
okay, so this is actually,
You know what I mean? That's why it's like people that like go into debt to look cool or act rich, and then like they're low key not. It's like, well, you just fucking scam this person. Like, what are you doing? This person loves a version of you that you can't maintain. Let it go.
Yeah. So recently, actually, I was out with a friend.
Also, we're grooving right now.
Yeah, I know. But I was out with a friend.
You have friends?
Yes. And
Outside of me?
yes. And he was like asking me.
You have another male friend outside of me?
Yes.
I'm kidding. Go.
Again, I was saying how I was giving up like liquor and stuff for Lent. And he was like, oh, what's Lent? Like, he's not Catholic or religious, whatever. I said, oh, like basically it's like 40 days of like fasting before Easter. Kind of just giving like the abbreviated version of, but I'm like, basically you just don't have it until Easter. And he's like, oh, are you religious? And I took a second and I almost said, knowing that he is not a religious person, I was about to just be like, oh, not really, no. I said, yeah, kind of. Like, I do take it, like, seriously in some ways, but, like, again, like, to each their own. And I had to stand my ground because I stand my ground with all of my friends and everything about it. And I almost changed my opinion to try to, like, make, like, just diffuse the situation and, like, almost people please. But who am I pleasing? No one. And it wasn't going to help me in the end. If I didn't say that I follow religion, like, do I want to get married in a Catholic church? Unless someone can completely convince me that I'm not, I will be married in a Catholic church. We can get married at 2 different places, but I will be getting that is a no-brainer for me.
That's a non-negotiable.
For right now. But again, I used to say I'm only gonna marry an Italian guy. I'm only gonna get married.
Well, you're sexually racist.
No,
I'm kidding.
I'm only marrying someone who's Catholic. I am open now to marrying someone
Who's not Italian.
Who's not Italian
And
not religious.
Oh my God. Mic drop.
It is a big deal because I was so set in my ways. Those were big red flags for me. Like, massive red flags. But I also think, like, as like women, like, we can't lose ourselves in like our person's culture. Like, we still have to maintain who we are as people.
Dan, you're killing it today, by the way. You're doing a great job. I genuinely mean that from the bottom of my heart. I think you're just on fire today. I don't know if you've been keeping all this you're on like going highs and lows, like you're fucking up and you're down. I'm just like, Dani, I love this roller coaster for
I
you.
can just say so much. But like, I just know, like, even like I have like friends right now that are getting married in the summer, and they're getting married in a Catholic church. He's Orthodox.
Oh my God.
He wants to get married in the Orthodox church too. But she's like, no, like, they're getting married in the Catholic church. So, like, they're trying, like, you technically can't get married in both.
Why not?
Like, per God and the rules. But, like, they're going to find a way to try to do it just to appease both of them. But they've kind of, like,
fucking do what makes you happy.
But they've both, like, are still true to themselves, but are able to make it, like, the religions are still very similar, that they're able to make it work. But even like when they have kids, like that's a big thing for a lot of families
Huge.
sometimes. And it's like she's like they're almost gonna just do it both. Even though it's not technically, but like
For me, the biggest thing is just like do what makes you fucking happy.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I guess.
you want to keep going? I can keep going if you want.
Yeah,
Like,
same.
we're at 45. Like we're basically good, but we're kind of like rolling. And we've touched on a lot of different topics.
I know, and there's a couple more things I wanted to talk about.
Like what?
I don't know, this is just bringing up a lot of different thoughts, but now you're putting me on the spot and I'm like I feel like we need something funny now.
I don't have anything.
Okay,
The
well,
pocket pussy was the funny thing I had today.
that's not funny.
It was, I don't know, to me it was funny. If you saw my DMs, it was fucking hilarious.
Well, with that.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we're good. I like Dani. I generally want to say this. You did a great job here. You killed
Well, I
this
just
one.
want to say the other day, Ricky messaged me being like, "Okay, this girl wants to come on the podcast, but like, I'm not gonna.
I'll
say
the story.
Wait, this girl's gonna come on the podcast and she wants to talk about dating. Are you gonna talk or are you gonna go mute? Because I don't like talking about dating. I don't date very often. I have my own personal reasons why I don't like talking about it. But anyways, whatever. And I was like, yeah, Ricky, like I can have a conversation. Like I'm not a fucking dumbass.
You have an opinion, and that's
And
all
I have
it takes.
opinions on a lot of things. But I also have experience in things. It just may not have been in the past year or two.
But then there's times where you don't want to say it. You kind of just you don't talk and you don't share
But
your
it could
opinions.
just because certain moods I'm in or certain questions are just like, to me, pointless. Or
Then you can say that. That's your opinion. But like, hey, I think this fucking point is
like,
stupid.
I just think this is dumb.
You can say that.
Okay, so I think, but I am perfectly okay with talking about certain things. I'm very open. I'm an open book.
We're going to remember this because next time the conversation gets there and I see you being mute, I'm going to look over. Danny, I thought you were an open book. What's
Okay,
your opinion
another
on this?
thing. I'm going to keep going.
Let's keep going.
Why aren't people allowed to be nervous going into dates? Doesn't matter if it's a first, a second, a third, not even a date, a hangout, a going out, a whatever. Why can't you be nervous to see the person that you may like?
So, first off, let's rewind. Let's tell the history behind this.
I have met this person a few times. I went to go see them. I was nervous not knowing the situation, what we were doing. We didn't really have a set plan. It was just more like we're doing something.
If you are nervous for reasons you cannot control, my heart goes, I'm with you. If you're nervous for things you can control,
I can control it.
Yes, you can. Hey, what are we doing? I need to know.
That wasn't why I was nervous though.
Then what were you nervous for?
Like just like unknown of like our conversation. How are we gonna vibe? Do I actually
Danny,
like
you
this person?
talk
Do I not
on
like this
camera.
person?
You talk on camera.
Again, Ricky, I
Like
get
2
that,
to
and
3
that
hours
really
a
did
week.
help me the last time I went
I
out.
asked you because
That helped
let me
me.
tell the story.
No,
so
but this is
Danny
different.
said she was nervous to meet someone. And I asked her as a friend, as Danny, one of Danny's best fucking friends. I said, Danny, what are you nervous about? And she looks at me. She goes, well, what are we going to talk about? I'm like, I don't know, Danny. You talk on camera for about 2 hours a day. Sorry, 2 hours a week. Literally 2 hours a week. We have about 30 questions locked and loaded in our brains that we use when we hit hard spots or when we have a guest that isn't as strong conversationally. We have these questions engraved. What's your death row meal? What's your favorite concert? Who's your favorite artist? What's one place you would love to go?
Oh my God, I asked that question.
And I asked him too, Danny, because I'm generally interested. So I tell this to Dan, I'm like, Danny, what are you nervous about? She goes, well, what if I like him? I'm like, that's fucking amazing. Why are you nervous about that? That's the whole point of this. She goes, yeah, but I don't know. I'm like, well, think about it. Why are you nervous? And I'm asking her as a friend. And then she's talking about it, like every time she says something, I'm like, okay, well, here's the answer why you shouldn't be. If you're nervous on your wedding day, you're nervous about something you cannot control. I get that.
But
It's
again,
a surprise date.
why are you nervous on your wedding day versus a first date? Your wedding date, you know the people, you know the guy, you know everyone at the wedding. You invited them, you planned it. Everything is in your control at your wedding.
So
what's the difference?
You're agreed, but
you're
again,
putting a little ring
it's
on
the
it
biggest
and
day
a
of your
legal.
life. It's the biggest day of your
Why?
life.
Because you're signing a paper.
It's the biggest day of your life. It's the day
I want to get married. I can't wait to get
so
married.
the day you
but, like,
propose, I would understand why you're nervous the day you propose. Even though you know your partner's going to say yes 95% of the times, I understand why men get nervous on that because that's
so
the
why
biggest
can't
moment
people,
in your life.
Why can't girls, men, whatever, get nervous? I remember going over to this person's house and whatever, I was like kind of just like nervous how the vibe was going to be because I wasn't sure. Fairly new into me knowing who he was.
Did you ask what the vibe was?
Well, like we had a vibe, then we changed vibes throughout, like before getting there. So I was like, fine, but I was still just like nervous. Like there's different situations, like meeting this person out versus meeting this person with friends versus talking on the phone, not seeing someone for a couple months.
Is it really that different though?
It was.
Why
I
is it-
was
that-
nervous. It was a first time. I went into the situation being like, holy shit, I am nervous as hell. Whatever. And it might not be nerves. It could be like almost like butterflies.
Butterflies and nerves are completely different.
Okay,
completely
but it
different.
can come. I was still nervous.
Butterfly
And we
gives you
get there.
excitement. Nerves gives you fucking anxiety.
It was both. It had both. So I get there. As soon as I got there, it was all like, oh, okay, I'm fine. Like I didn't even.
So again, but this is this is in your mind. This is
I know,
all
but
like
guess what? You can have your anxieties about certain things. This was something that made me anxious.
I know, but that's why I was trying to help you with it.
Yes.
Saying
No, but
like-
this is, you were helping me for two different things. That night,
So-
you did not help me.
Again,
You said, grow the fuck up. Don't talk to me. Go have fun.
because you are going to see someone you already know.
Doesn't matter. I
You
was
know-
still nervous
you
to
know
be in a
what the
different
vibe
situation
is.
with that person.
Because again, you're making this a way
And
bigger deal, and you're over exaggerating.
he told me he was nervous too.
He's just saying that. Getting nervous on a first date, if you're an introvert or if you're a quiet person, you don't go out much, and
I can be introverted sometimes.
I can be introverted sometimes. I can be and sometimes. Listen to that.
Okay.
Or you cannot be introverted and you can be not nervous and not shy and not nothing.
Okay, I get
So
that,
that's
but
you.
it's a mental thing that sometimes I feel like I go through. I go through these up and downs of like confidence levels and how I feel when I'm in certain situations.
Then again,
My
build
biggest
it.
example is going out with you in Miami for New Year's. I'll never forget that feeling I had before going to that party. I remember telling you as we were walking down from the hotel, you probably don't remember this. I said, Ricky, I feel so anxious right now. And I remember in my stupid heels, shaking, trying to get into the cab because I was like anxious. Then we had a 45-minute cab ride across that stupid ass bridge,
yeah.
which made me even more. And you're like, yeah, I'm getting antsy too right now. I was like, I'm not antsy. Just like until I was in a situation, like sometimes new situations make me uncomfortable. And the being uncomfortable is okay. And I'm trying to remind myself that I'm allowed to be uncomfortable. I'm allowed to go into a situation, not know and not fully be in control and be comfortable. That's something I'm working on. Not being in control.
You know what,
go to a
again,
bar
yeah.
in Toronto, I go to Locals. I know exactly how I'm going to feel at Locals because I've been there so many times. I walk
So,
into
but what's the difference between Locals and the next bar?
going in, like again, this place in Miami. I've never been there. I don't know the people around me. I don't know the vibe around me. I can't control the situation.
You 100% can control the
I know,
situation.
but this is what goes through
I
my
know, but
brain.
that's what I'm telling you. This is what
So
you got to
like
remind
going
yourself.
into a date with
Danny,
someone, I know. That's what I'm
the
reminding
things
myself.
you can, and that's why.
You're
that's
not
why
listening to me.
I am. But so I'm telling you the other side. You can control all these things if you learn to control them.
I get that. That's what I just said. I am trying to teach myself to control. But there are some times in situations, and I am not the only person. I have friends that were going on first dates recently, and I had to go to their house to hang out with them before so that they weren't alone. Or they'd come over to my house to get ready so they're not alone because they have like the nerves before going on the date. As soon as we all get there, we're all fucking fine. We're not children.
So
But
then
it's
why do you
the
act like
nerves-
children beforehand?
It's normal human nature, and someone tell me if I'm wrong, that it is normal to be nervous going on a first date, going on any date, because there's other factors in
Like
the
what?
mix.
Like what?
Like you actually might like this person.
So why does it
or
make you nervous
there's,
if you might like the
unknowns.
person? Isn't that the whole point of the date?
Yes, but it's like, oh, you're going to hang out with someone and you like them, but it's like you want things to go well. You're like, oh, I don't want to fuck up. I don't want this. I don't want that.
So how's that an unknown?
It's like it can make you nervous.
But again, why? I'm asking genuinely because me.
So let's say like there's some days you come into like I come into the podcast. I'm like, you know what? I'm not feeling it. You don't want to fuck up on thing when we have to release it. Are
That's
there
not
days
nerves
you fuck
though.
up? When I first started this, I used to have like a pit in my stomach, like, ugh, I can't believe I'm doing this. Now I don't care.
So I want you next time you go on
But
a
you're
date.
working through it. And
want you-
again, I said I am working through it. I'm kidding. I'm sitting in, going out somewhere, and there's someone you like there. How is it gonna be?
You go in, and again, if it doesn't work, fuck it.
Again, that is something I am working on because as soon as I get myself back in my brain, it's a mental thing.
You know, again, I can't.
As long as I'm not aware of it.
No,
I'm very aware of it.
And I apologize because I'm speaking from someone who's on a different end of this. Like I very rarely get nervous anymore. I very rarely get anxious
Again,
anymore.
that's after so many different times and so much experience in it. But you're also your personality. Everyone's
That's
different.
right.
'Cause
That's why
you could say
yeah.
me, I'm one way. The person next to me could be 30 times
100%.
worse.
100%. Then my biggest share to this, or my biggest, I guess not advice, but my biggest comment would be, remember, the things you cannot control will always make you nervous because you cannot
Exactly.
control them. But Danny, the things you can control should not make you nervous. Everything you've said in this entire spiel are things you can control. You're going to a new club in Miami with new people. You can control that. You can leave if you don't like the vibe. You're going on a first date. You don't know what to say. You've been on podcasts. You know what to say. You can control that. You don't like the vibe. You can switch vibes. You don't like the drink. You can switch. Something bothers you. You can leave. You are in control of every aspect of that. You are fucking kidnapped or something. Yeah, fuck. That should make you nervous. You are not in control of that situation. You get thrust into a new role at work that you're not prepared for, and you fucking don't know what you're doing, but they needed to fill that gap and they thrust you into it. Yeah, be nervous. Be scared. Everything you can control should not, if you can control the situation and you can control the outcome to the best of your abilities, it shouldn't make you nervous. That's what, when I used to get nervous playing hockey when I was young because I was a goalie. If I fucked up, people noticed. It was a goal, basically. And it used to fucking make me so nervous. Once I stopped really caring about hockey as much, I didn't get as nervous because I was like, hey, if we lose, we lose. I'm here to do the best of my abilities. And I used to say a prayer before every game, and I never asked to win. I never said, hey, God, please let me win this game. Say, hey, God, please let me and my teammates play to the best of our abilities and do the best we can to put us in the best situations. And then I'd pray to St. Mike's and I'd play to our Father of Victory or something. I can't remember the other one, but the other one was like to win. But that was it because if you do your best and you lose, does that bother you? Yeah, it bothers you because you lost, but like I'll sleep like a baby knowing if I fucking did my best and it wasn't good enough, I'm okay. I can sleep no problem.
I just think having some nerves is okay sometimes. It's not a bad thing.
I think it's a bad thing when you project it on everybody else.
I'm allowed to call my friends and say, oh my God, I'm nervous. All I want you to say is, yeah, you're okay. Don't worry, blah, blah, blah. Talk to me. Change the conversation. Then I get there and I'm all good.
So then why not call me and say, hey, Ricky, hey, can you tell me about your day? Can you do this? Why you gotta just fucking dramatize everything? Oh my God, I'm so nervous. What are we gonna talk about? Let's use that example. I'm so nervous. I'm like, why are you nervous? I asked you calmly as a friend.
Yeah, but I was fine the second time. The first time you were playing out mean. And I called my friend and she helped me. And then her boyfriend helped me.
Because you're seeing a guy you've seen 5 fucking times.
The second time, you were rational. I said, yeah,
because the second time was a new situation. So I have sympathy for you. I
right.
get that. You are a woman who is a little bit dramatic and you over exaggerate things. So knowing that, I walked you through it.
If you think I'm dramatic.
So imagine me going to see my girlfriend, like I'm nervous to see my girlfriend today. You'd be like, why?
Because you know her.
You know him.
Not the same. And we're not talking situation. Like, and with that, thanks so much for listening to the podcast.
Honestly, if for anybody in general, if you are still nervous around like a person 4 or 5 times, after the 4th or 5th time,
it wasn't 4 or 5 times.
It was the 3rd or 4th then. And you guys, we're not going to get into this, but you guys have already been comfortable with each other.
You're still allowed to have nerves going into new situations,
but
and
it's
that
not a new
is
situation.
Okay.
It's not a new
that
situation.
That is okay.
What was the new
I am ending it at that.
We are gonna.
I am ending it there because we're gonna get into it, and
we're gonna fight. I love you.
I just know that, like,
I love you. I do love you as a friend. I really do.
As a
even though you are over exaggerate everything,
as a friend,
and you're the most dramatic person I know, and one of the least independent people I know. I still do love you.
You've ever said I'm the least independent. Like, I literally was.
You call and FaceTime everybody all day long.
I only FaceTime people when I'm in the car or call them in the car. If you call me outside of car situations,
right here, you did it.
That's me trying to ask my sister a question. Something came to my brain. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna ask her. I don't care to call her in front of you because you're someone I'm okay with calling my sister in front of and talking about it.
No, because then you wake up on my couch some mornings and you FaceTime Vicky and Mass.
in the morning after
Rebecca.
we go out and drink. 100%. Mornings after we drink, me and the girls always on
And
the
you
phone.
in the car. So basically, you don't FaceTime when you're doing work or doing school, or at the
Any
podcast.
other day of the week. Like, I only FaceTime in the car in the afternoon. Morning, hell fucking no, unless it's an
Unless you're
important-
hungover or
No, unless it's an important conversation. Like something that needs to be talked
Danny,
about.
I do love you. I hope you know that. If I don't tell you
As a
enough,
friend.
if I don't tell you enough, Danny, I do love you.
Thank you. Same. You too. Thanks.
Guys, if you this we got into it today.
Yeah. And stay tuned for next week's episode.
We've got who do we got?
We have Sarah.
Sarah, yeah, because we're
Yeah.
releasing this right away. So we have Sarah May Curd, Concerts with Strangers. Then we have Nick Hill. He's a realtor. We're hoping to have Johnny Orlando back on. Crash Adams, sorry. And a couple other cool things lined up. So we'll see what's in the mix. But guys, as always, if you like this, please share, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And if you don't like it, let us know. Like me, Danny.
Tell us what you need, like you want us to change.
Yeah, if you have constructive criticism, send me a message. Danny doesn't take constructive criticism as well as I
I take
do.
it very well. I just
Very
think that Ricky's
personally.
being very dramatic.
Da-
And we're going to end it there. Thank you so much for listening. Signing off. Bye.
Peace.
You like to drink and to smoke to take away the pain. And I don't remember all of my mistakes and every high. Got alone with no one thing. You're not alright.